Okay, all right, so on previous sets, we find out which region to shade. We found out that if there is an equal sign in the inequality symbol, we use a solid line. If it is not with an equal symbol, we use a dashed line, right? And we look at some easy examples on which region to shade. And then we look at set number 5, and we said that, hey, if you have two inequalities together, how do you do it? And what I shared with you is that you can use a horizontal striping or vertical striping so that you can easily see where the two regions overlap, because that will be the region that they crisscross. Now, alternatively, if you are good with the mental processing, you can just highlight the region where they overlap and ignore anything else, because all we care is a solution. All we care is a solution. All we care is a solution. So now, let's look at number 6, set number 6. What makes this set special compared to the other sets? It is in standard form. And as we said before, we are not really fond of the standard form because it gives us a hard time to graph. So it's the same challenge, but it's in a different place. So we need to convert this to slope-intercept so that we could see how it is being graphed. So we say y is greater than or equal to minus 3x minus 3. So y is greater than, so we're going to shade the region above, and then we're going to draw the line of minus 3x minus 3. So the slope is negative 3. And again, by finishing this unit, you are supposed to become a pro in linear equation. You see a linear line, you have no fear, you know how to make that linear line 10 out of 10, okay? So you go ahead and create that solid line right here. And then we'll shade the region above. All right, and then you have the second equation, and the second equation would be, now you have to do some moving and dividing. You have to move the x over. You have to move the x over, so you have 2y is less than or equal to minus x plus 4, and then you have to divide both sides by 2. And again, make sure you divide them correctly, properly. So y is less than negative 1/2 x plus 2. Okay, again, we divide the whole side by 2, and there are 2 terms in the numerator. You've got to divide both together. And to do that, I'm going to use a different color actually, so that you can see better where they are intersecting. So plus 2 right here. And then with a slope of negative 1/2. Okay, so draw the line. Okay, but y it's less than, so I'm gonna shade the region below. And then you can find out the overlap region. So if you have time, you're more than welcome to make the overlap region darker so to make it stand out, okay? But if you give me something just to crisscross the lines, I'm more than happy to see that you know what's happening. So in a sense, I consider this as a simpler exercise than the previous one, because this one, it's really just about, do you know how to graph, basically. And yesterday, I've got a student expressing his comments, feelings about graphing. And he said, you know, Mr. Chan, I hate graphing. I can do all the algebra. I just hate graphing. And I said, well, I understand this because I was like you. I hated graphing, but do not be like me, because in the future, You want to see a graph and interpret the answers from the graph. It's so much easier if you have a graph. You might hate graphing right now because you don't see the future, but trust me, okay? I don't lie to you. I'm being very honest with you that if you can become a pro, a master in producing these simple graphs, you are going to be brilliant, okay? You will be brilliant. So now, can you go ahead and try out the second part right here on your own? So, so again, it is not in slope-intercept form, so please go ahead and make the slope-intercept form. I'll give you 2 minutes, okay, to work on it. So just to make sure that the equations are accurate. So the first equation is very nice because you have a positive y on the left. So all you need to do is to move. It's to move the x over. So that's good. And then the second equation, there's a minus y right there. Now, there are multiple ways you can do it. Okay, let me show you both ways you can do it. One way you can do it is to move the 2x over. Okay, you have this. And then you multiply both sides by -1. So you change the sign. You will change the sign for the right-hand side. So that's what you have. Okay, so make sure you have this y is less than 2x minus 1. And if you don't do it right, you will shade the wrong region. Okay, so this is one more time, a reconfirmation of your understanding. Okay, now how can you do it the other way? Now, this is the way I would prefer to do. So after seeing that there's a negative dangling in front of y, what I would do is to put my y on the right-hand side because I'm not really a fan of multiplying or dividing a negative number. I try to avoid multiplying and dividing a negative number. So I'm going to move the y to the right-hand side. Then I'm going to move the 1 to the left. So it becomes 2x minus 1. So now it's pretty much good, but I just want to make sure that it's presented in a nice way. So I'm just going to say y is less than 2x minus 1. Okay, I just kind of reverse the whole thing. Then I have the same equation. Okay, which one do you like better? Do you like to multiply by -1 at the end, or do you want to move the y to positive? Move the y? Yeah, it's your personal choice. That's really your personal choice, your personal preference. Both way works. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna pick on. I'm not gonna pick a method that's like, oh, this is better. They're both great. Okay. So we have this equation and we have this equation. So y is greater than -x plus 2. So we have -x plus 2. So make sure you draw a dotted line this time. Okay, and y is greater, so you just go ahead and highlight the top part. And then I'm going to use the purple line. Y is less than 2x minus 1, so minus 1 right here. So 2x minus 1, and it is less than. So less than would be, whoops, would be this. So the overlapped region would be the region to the right. Okay. All right, so that's how we call it our solution area, because any point in that highlighted region or the overlapped region will make both inequalities true. Okay. And in this course, we've got to know what is true and what's false, and it's really easy to see. Okie doke.